Hey, Dewan Shepherd here at Comotion Cycles, and we want to help you choose from our vast array of tandems. We make more tandems than any other company, and we've got them basically sorted into 5 different categories. We have all-rounders, we have road, touring, we have tandems for family cycling, getting the kids started. We have mixed terrain tandems, and finally we have e-tandems. How do you choose? Well, let's talk about it. Here we go. And this one is what we think of as mixed terrain tandems. So why would you be interested in this? Well, maybe some of your riding isn't on perfect pavement. If your conditions of your roads is not great, it's nice to have a little more rubber between yourself and the road. And all of these bikes have a larger tire than what you would find on your average road bike. Doesn't mean you can't ride them on the road, you certainly can, but now you don't need perfect pavement for it. And does it affect your speed? Maybe a little bit if conditions are ideal. But since ideal conditions don't exist in that many places, it's definitely worth considering a tandem bike with a little bit larger tire. We're going to start by looking at the Mocha here. The Mocha has a 650B wheel size. You may be familiar, if you're not familiar with 650B, you might know 700C, which is the most common road bike tire size, wheel size. 650B is 50 millimeters smaller. 50 millimeters is about 2 inches. 1 inch is 25 millimeters. So these are what we call nominal sizes. And we'll go more in depth into tire sizes and what all the nomenclature means for tire and wheel sizing as we dive into the individual models more. But going back to the Mocha, comes in 3 sizes, covers a good size range of riders. You'll notice that the Mocha, in part because it has a smaller wheel size, can accommodate a little bit smaller riders than would fit onto our Java. And we'll step over here to the Java. This bike has 29-inch wheels. That's a couple inches larger than a road bike tire, which nominally, using that word again, 700C equates to about 27 inches. So you can see if you go back and forth between these bikes, these 29-inch wheels are a lot bigger than these 650B wheels. That makes the bike a little bit bigger and taller, and if you're tall enough to ride one, that's great. But for some, this makes the Mocha the obvious choice because having the bikes that's a little bit lower in stature makes it easier to get on and off if you yourself are a little bit smaller. So both the Mocha and the Java are designed to be able to take onto gravel roads or even single track. We don't think of them as mountain bikes. They're more geared toward multi-surface use. So let's say you're touring across your state, not on the highway, but on secondary roads, maybe even some Forest Service or fire roads. These bikes could handle that beautifully, and they can handle it with a full self-contained touring load if you choose to do it that way. Or if you're just day tripping, great, that's another great way to do it. We'll discuss in another video how to carry that gear and the different choices there are for carrying gear that way. Both of these bikes are drop bar bikes, meaning road style handlebars with dual control levers, so your shifting and braking is on the same lever. Shimano Ultegra equipped on the Java. This is Shimano 105 equipped on the Mocha. Good wide range gearing so you can get over the hills, climb up those steep climbs that you're likely to encounter on less improved roads. Coming over here to the Calapooya, this is an example of what we do with what we call gravel tandem. So this is really made for riding onto gravel roads, which is a very popular sport. If you haven't checked out the network of gravel roads that are out there, very likely in your area, certainly there's some meccas for gravel riding around the country. In Oregon, we've got great choices, and we could show you places to go all day long. A gravel tandem is less designed for loaded touring, as I discussed with the Mocha and the Java, and it's a little more oriented towards sport riding. So getting out, enjoying those rides on unimproved roads, and maybe doing a little competition, something like the Oregon Coast Gravel Epic, or you name it. There's a number of gravel race events around the country, and you're very likely to see a Calapooya or a Steelhead or even a Java or Mocha at one of those events. These bikes are really built to handle it. Calapooya and the Steelhead are more on the sporty side, lightweight, great handling, not geared as much toward carrying a heavy touring load, more toward getting you there as efficiently as possible. So that's a brief rundown of the Calapooya, Java, and Mocha. I don't have a Steelhead to show you here right now today, but we'll be getting into that as we go into individual videos on individual models and dig into this deeper. The main difference between the Calapooya and the Steelhead is the Calapooya has an aluminum frame. You can maybe see these bigger welds here. That's a characteristic of a high quality aluminum frame versus the steel frames have a smaller weld bead, not as noticeable. That's it in brief. I probably went a little too long there, but that covers the tandem models we have for mixed surfaces. It's a great category, a lot of versatility, a lot of capability. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.